in it's not even brighter news, in darker news, let's just, a lot of podcasts, a lot of sports, ESPN, Fox, like a lot of these outlets have not been covering this because I get it. There is a fear with covering topics like this, but here at Who's On First, we don't have anything to lose. So uh we're going to try our best to cover this topic with enough decency that no one gets offended, but we want to be clear that we are not trying to offend anybody when we talk about this, but we're just going to give you how it looks and how it's been looking.
and our opinions in the matter.
Right. So let's discuss the situation with the Dodgers and their Pride Night festivities. For the last 10 seasons, the Dodgers or this being the 10th season, the Dodgers have done their Pride Night or their LGBTQ plus night. And this year it's taken a bit of controversy headlines because of one particular group that was invited to the Pride Night, the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. For those who don't know, the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence are essentially, I want to get this right before I even start, because I don't want to be like, oh no, you're wrong. The Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, also called the Order of Perpetual Indulgence, is a charity, protest, and street performance organization that uses drag and religious imagery to call attention to sexual intolerance and satirizes issues of gender and morality. So they were invited to join the Dodgers with their Pride Night. Essentially, a lot of groups got wind that they were joining the Pride Night, and a lot of religious groups, a lot of Catholic-based groups, Christian-based groups were told that they would be involved into the festivities, and this caused some backlash. And essentially, the Dodgers chose to, after all the backlash online and within some stands in the media, they chose to remove the sisters from the Pride Night.
That the Catholic community is outraged by the decision to honor a group that, quote, mocks faith and makes light of devoted religious women. The Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence are set to receive the Dodgers Community Hero Award at Pride Night on June 16th.
This caused LA Pride, which is very popular out here in LA County. This caused LA Pride to pull out of their of the Dodgers Pride Night, and they've been a part of I think every Pride Night the Dodgers have had. Caused them to pull out after this situation happened, which then, of course, caused the people in support of this night to voice their displeasure with the Dodgers and their actions. And then I believe 2 weeks ago, the Dodgers decided to invite the sisters back to the Pride Night.
Well, after an outpouring of complaints from liberal activists, the Los Angeles Dodgers are reversing course again. The team is now inviting the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence back to its annual Pride Night next month. This group describes itself as, quote, an order of queer and trans nuns. Senator Rubio sent an open letter to the Dodgers saying that this group has a history of mocking Catholics. But they're now set to be honored with the Dodgers Community Service Award, and the team is issuing a formal apology for initially removing the group from Pride Night, quote. After much thoughtful feedback from our diverse communities, honest conversations within the Los Angeles Dodgers organization, and generous discussions with the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, the Dodgers would like to offer our sincerest apologies to the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, members of the LGBTQ plus community, and their friends and families.
And they accepted, and LA Pride also accepted to come back. And this caused, again, outrage on the other side with the religious and Christian groups. Catholic and Christian groups. But today it was announced by, oddly enough, which is also why I didn't like this, Dodgers had Clayton Kershaw announce this on Twitter, which was okay. But the Dodgers are having a
Christian family night.
Yeah, a Christian faith and family day.
Well, following a Pride Night controversy, the Dodgers and star pitcher Clayton Kershaw will hold a Christian faith and family night. Just a short time ago, Kershaw tweeted out the announcement on his personal account. Kershaw says, quote, "We are grateful for the opportunity to talk about Jesus and determined to make it bigger and better than it was before COVID. Hope to see you on July 30th. This comes after the Dodgers uninvited and then re-invited a group of self-described queer and trans nuns to the team's Pride Night event in June.
I believe that is on July 30th. Let me just double check. Yes, that's July 30th at Dodger Stadium. This is essentially in response to the sisters being added back to Pride Night. Just give me your thoughts on what the hell is going on.
All right, so first, I feel who I feel like bad for are the players,
Right.
because regardless of their beliefs, their religious beliefs, their social beliefs, whatever belief system they want or they believe in, they can't voice their true opinions,
No.
because whatever way they say it will be spewed hatred by the other side, regardless of which side of the pendulum where we stand on this. So I
Right.
really feel bad for the players, because they really are the ones who are the talent on the field, why these nights happen, why these events happen, that they are silenced in this. Um, then next, I feel bad for the Dodger organization, because they put themselves in a very tough situation, because now they've upset both groups. And yeah, the sisters and LA Pride both were like, "Oh yeah, we'll come back and thank you for having us back," and all this. But there's still people within the gay and LGBTQ. I hope I got it right. Sorry if I didn't.
Yeah.
Uh, in the community that are still upset, and rightfully so, because it's and just as it's like I said, if you swing the pendulum the other way, there's people in the religious in the Christian and Catholic that have every right to be upset too, because that's their belief. And it's just a very sticky situation all around. Um, there's not going to be an outcome where everyone's going to be happy,
No.
and that's the sad thing about it, because I we don't know the ramifications of something like this, because this is new to all of sports. You've, in the past 3 years, this topic has been controversial since the beginning on different levels for both sides. And we're at the infant phase of it, so
Right.
it's just like a baby. It's just we don't know how to to fully solve it yet, and get our arms around it to say, hey, this is how we embrace everything. So yeah, I don't know, it's a tough situation. I feel like that, like I said, I just feel like there's no outcome that's going to be positive on anybody, that's going to please everybody.
And I echo a lot of what you're saying, and I hope people who listen to this understand that doing things like this, because let's just make it as black and white as we can. From a business standpoint, the Dodgers do not want to alienate anybody, because people in the LGBTQ plus community like baseball. People with the religious beliefs like baseball. A lot of people like baseball, and you're in the business of selling tickets and getting people to fill those seats, right? So I can understand them not wanting to, be completely unbiased to any side, right? However, my issues with this stem from, I feel like once you make a decision on something, especially in today's society, right? Once you make a decision on something and you flip flop, you've essentially just set yourself up to that this is always going to be something that's going to happen now. And I'm not saying I agree with their decision initially. I'm not saying that I disagree, but I am saying a decision was made. So once you choose to go back on that, you open yourself up for the criticism. And if I'm someone on the LGBTQ plus side of the argument, I don't see how you don't feel like you were basically just pandered to. And that's you know, me and you obviously have, because we're friends and we have like personal conversations offline. We both don't like pandering. And I feel
We
like
both, I think, because we both had to work to where we're at in
right,
life, and sometimes to us that just feels like what was the struggle and what
right,
was the lesson that we've learned and we're trying to instill in our families.
right. And I feel like I can speak from being a black man. Like
What? Hold on. What?
what?
Oh
This
man,
podcast is
this is
over.
done.
I think I can definitely speak from this from being a black man. There is instances where companies, people will just straight up pander to my community, myself, and it's like it doesn't feel good because it's basically like let me baby you into agreeing with us or to buying into our product or into whatever, right? And it's like have enough self-respect and decency towards me that I'm still like I can compartmentalize two different thought processes. I don't have to just be like, "Oh, what? You don't hey, there's no black people here. I'm gone," or something, you know, like and
Yeah.
I feel like today everything is so like uh kind of like you said, everything is so like if it's not all this way, I can't be in it. And that's just it's a really weird way to think about things, right? On the flip side of things, go ahead.
Oh, I was just trying to say because when people, this is when what I hear when everyone goes, "Well, I can't be in that," and that's where I'm like, well, we all, everyone, the whole common ground in all this is the equality. Everyone wants to be treated as an equal, but when either side goes, "Oh, I can't be in on this because I don't agree with it," that's when I'm like, "Hold on, so you aren't in for equality." So it's like
Right.
we're just all playing this round and round game every day. And that's what I was saying because how what you were just said. So continue, please.
And I feel like I would hope, you know, I would hope that the LGBTQ plus community uh also can sense when they're being pandered to. And I just I want interactions and things to be genuine. I don't want to be given things because oh you're gonna complain and we just don't want to hear it. Because to me, that doesn't solve anything. All that does is just put a stigma amongst a group that this is going to happen, so we have to be like this towards them, right? And as a black man, I've fought, and a lot of people have fought against that for years because you realize that it does hinder you the more you elevate in your life, career, or whatever, because people now expect you to be a certain type of way, or they expect you to look for a handout, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that this situation is a handout, but I'm just
No.
saying that clearly both sides have turned into like a political thing and it's all like pandering. It's all pandering because now on the same side now, the religious side was very loud and they were very like, you know, this is wrong, XYZ. And what did the Dodgers do? Or we're gonna give you a day, July 30th. Hey, it's Christian Faith and Family Day. Now, of course, for people who think like, oh, they just created this to appease, you know, the religious side. That's not something that's true. This has been going on for actually the last time they had this day was 2019. So this has been going on for some time. It's just
On
that
and off for sometimes.
right
Yeah.
once the pandemic happened, it stopped. But I feel like this is still pandering because you chose to bring this back right when
And you're
this
making
happened.
and you're bringing and you're hyping it up with
Exactly.
with your most religious player who does so much community work down in Mexico and
Yeah.
Africa
Africa.
and building these missions and all that. So it's just at that point, it's just I felt like it was a like a marketing ploy.
Right. And this is my issue with this entire situation because at the end of the day, who benefits from it? Nobody. Nobody benefits. Like because now essentially you have you've turned something that shouldn't have been because like I said, Pride Night has happened for the past 10 seasons.
Yeah.
It was never a big deal. right? This became a big deal, honestly, last year.
Yeah.
Last year was the first time it was made such a big deal, and the reason it was made such a big deal was because the jerseys. When the Dodger players went out, and this just wasn't Dodger players, it was a lot of teams like around Pride Month that they had custom jerseys created, right? Yeah. And for some reason, when these jerseys were created, a lot of people were just very upset that, you know, the Dodgers were wearing the jerseys and the caps and everything like that. I believe last year Tampa Bay chose not to do it, or I think their players said that they weren't going to wear it, and they caught a lot of backlash for that. And like, to me now, I just don't see how people can look at these things and don't see it as something that's just going to be politicized.
Well, before you go on, like when the jersey thing came up, I don't know if you are old enough to remember Seinfeld, but there's a famous episode where Kramer goes on an AIDS walk, and they're like, "Do you want the ribbon?" And he's like, "No, I don't want the ribbon." And they're like, "You don't wear the ribbon." So that's where I feel like when it comes with the jersey, it's like, "You're not wearing the jersey, ah!" And that's where I feel like that we're in a sitcom reality show type deal. Sorry, it just made me think of that when you said that.
And it, like, at this point, you know, moving forward with this situation, I don't know what the how can I word this? I don't know what the level of where this is going to stop.
Yeah.
Because now there's been a precedent set that if you make enough noise, either way, you can get something changed. Yeah. And to me, that's something that's very scary, because now going back to the players' end of it, they're Clayton Kershaw, like you said, is a known, very faith-based player. He's a Christian. He's made this known. He's not hid it at all.
No.
But also, Clayton Kershaw,
he shouldn't. It's his beliefs.
Right, it's his beliefs, right? But also, Clayton Kershaw last year wore the Pride jersey. Didn't say like, oh, this is wrong or anything like that, right? That's where I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get to, why can't we just be like, I have my beliefs, but I respect your beliefs, and it's all cool. Like, I feel like now, like you said, you have to conform to someone's beliefs to actually, for them to actually accept you, which is something that it gets very muddy, because I feel like we've been saying this for years doing this podcast. These are regular people that just happen to play a sport. They should not be idolized. They are not role models, right? Once you go outside, Mookie Betts can be a complete dick to you, and he has a right to do that.
Exactly.
Like, you know,
do you go up to the Starbucks barista at the grocery store, like, hey, try to have a conversation with them? No.
Right. Because I just think about things from really just a divisive standpoint. And when you do things like, okay, we have a Pride night now, in response to all this backlash, let's do this Christian night or Christian day.
And who's going to be offended next?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, so, and also the players in that locker room, if they have a stance, now are you going to be offended that, you know, Kirsch, he went out and tweeted this, like, what are his beliefs, if you don't know the man, right?
Yeah.
Because again, we don't know how much these players interact. Like, obviously that they're around each other like for 6-7 months out of a year, but we don't know how deep these conversations get.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where it's just like, for everyone arguing, I just want to know, what is the end game? What is the end game in these situations? Because I feel like there's never an end game. No. It's just we have to win, and that's it.